10 million candle power. 102% true fishing story by Mitch Thomas. Names have not been changed to protect the innocent.
It was a warm summer afternoon in Fort Collins, Colorado, and I decided to do something unusual. Go fishing. I opted to try my luck at the large reservoir just to the west of town. The lake was super low due to dam maintenance, which in my mind concentrated the fish to 3 very large puddles from what this 6-mile lake is normally. Puddle is a joke, of course. It was still a large area of water, but the low level meant it took longer to get to the shoreline. I carefully made my way down the steep bank, making my own trail and sliding on loose gravel a few times. I could feel the lactic acid build up in my legs, for this was not a place one would want to fall. I meticulously and carefully made my way to the water's edge after a solid 15-minute descent. Down at the water's edge was a group of 7 to 10 younger individuals in their late teens, acting rambunctious, swearing, and playing like teens do when they've been drinking or smoking pot. I paid no attention to them and went around them and found a spot 50 yards from the group. I cast out my rods and sat down to relax. Nothing was going to ruin this beautiful summer night, for I anticipated an epic fishing experience was about to unfold. The weather was very nice with a slight breeze and the sun was starting to fall over the horizon. 45 minutes at the lake and no bites yet. It was now close to dark and I had on my miner's light ready for night fishing. It was then that I noticed at the top of the ridge the flickering blue and red lights of a police car. I was parked up there but was sure I was in a designated area legally parked. Then 2 more sheriff's cars pulled onto the ridge with their flashers on, and before long they were yelling down to the group of teens for all of them to climb up the ridge and see them. I figured some of the group went up to their car and a deputy questioned them about something. Probably smelled alcohol, and everything spiraled downhill for the group at that point. Then I heard more yelling from the ridge in my direction. The group of teens were no longer next to me, so then I realized it was me they were yelling at. They were instructing me to come up there also to talk to them. I yelled back up at them. "I'm not with that group, I'm fishing, I'm not with them." That seemed to fall on deaf ears as they said, "This is an order from the sheriff's department, come up here now." Then they started on the loudspeaker yelling down at me. It sounded like RoboCop giving commands to a criminal or something. "This is the Larimer County Sheriff's Department, we are ordering you to come up here immediately." I once again yelled, "I'm not with that group, I'm fishing. You come down here." And that's where the standoff began. Those lazy fucks don't want to scale down the steep mountainside to come down to me, and I sure as hell wasn't looking forward to climbing back up with all my gear to my car once I was done fishing. One thing I need to mention is that about a week prior I had received my new spotlight I had asked for as a present. It was 10 million candle power and the brightest light on the market back then that I could find. I had to carry it separately down there because the lens diameter was so big it would not even come close to fitting in my large backpack. The sheriff's department commands were starting to sound more impatient with every bullhorn demand barked in my direction. And with every demand I kept the same response. "No, you come down here." The standard spotlight used by the police department was a 1 million candle power unit. Very bright and can definitely light up the night. After 8 to 10 minutes of us going back and forth, they got out the spotlight and now it was shining brightly down on me. Honestly, this now really pissed me off and I said, "Oh, these MFers want to play around with some lights?" And without much thought I reached next to my backpack and hoisted the big ass light up and aimed it towards the top of the hill. Good Mitch was saying don't do it. And bad Mitch said go for it. And the next thing I knew was my finger squeezed that trigger, and a bolt of light so powerful shot out of it that it could have knocked the space shuttle out of the sky. It was blinding me and it was pointed away from me. I can't comprehend what it looked like from their angle. Probably like staring at the sun. Through their loudspeaker I heard a frantic tone in the officer's voice commanding me to turn off my light. I yelled up at them, No, you turn off your light." Surprisingly, the sheriff's office spotlight turned off and I also turned my light off. The funny thing is my light would not last very long without a plug-in, and besides that it got very hot from any sustained usage without a break. I heard a variety of officers yelling all kinds of things over one another at the onset of my light tornado aimed at them, and looking back I was amazed how quiet everything became when the 2 lights were extinguished. And with that, I never heard another command and I saw the red and blue flashers turned off. Then I saw the tail lights of 3 sheriff's cars fade away and disappear into the darkness of the night. I said to myself, well, that was trippy. I believe I stayed another 2 hours or so before rounding up my gear for the hike back up to my car. I was waiting for a hidden sheriff vehicle and its occupants ready to pounce on me once I made it to my car. Turns out no police were waiting to pounce, and I loaded my car and drove home. I was content but still angry, for I didn't catch any fish that night and I had to chart getting skunked in my fish log during what should have been a good fishing night in the summertime. Guess that's why they call it fishing and not catching. The end.
I swear under perjury and Man Code Rule 46 ultimate douchebaggery that this is exactly how it happened.